Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys an old school album review. And today we're going to be talking about this album's 15th anniversary, which is today, and it's from, well, my favorite band. Then they definitely don't need an introduction, and everybody that knows me probably knows who I'm talking about. And by the shirt I'm wearing, it's pretty obvious. And as you can see below the title, we're going to be talking about A Matter of Life and Death by Iron Maiden. This was the band's 14th album, released on August 25th, 2006 through Sanctuary Records. Now, A Matter of Life and Death follows up their previous album, Dance of Death. And unlike with Dance of Death, from what I've heard, Iron Maiden didn't say much about this album until, well, it was around the time before the album was released. They released the music video for the song The Reincarnation of Benjamin Brieg. Again, I was like, that was kind of just caught me off guard. And we'll talk about the album in just a sec. And compared from Dance to Death to A Matter of Life and Death, I feel like it's a quantum leap from that. And I just think with this album, it's a lot more, it has a bit more of a darker tone, more seriousness to it than with Dance to Death. And I honestly consider it, Rick, almost kind of like the X Factor with Bruce Dickinson on vocals, just because it's the same length, about 70 minutes, but it's definitely has like themes. Well, it's not really a concept album but because the only true concept album that Iron Maiden has is the epic Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. But I feel like there are overall recurring themes from this album, including like war, religion, and I don't know, it's just those are like some of those main topics. And then the album art, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, done by Melvin Grant. And I think the artwork here is better than with Dance of Death. Well, they had Eddie was great, but that whole CGI thing on Dance of Death is just. But with them on A Matter of Life and Death, you could definitely tell. Oh, I just love like the whole war theme, and especially with Eddie as like a soldier and everything. Let's just dive right into this. Like, production-wise, produced by Kevin Shirley and co-produced by my all-time favorite bassist, Steve Harris. I think they both do a really great job producing, knowing where everything needs to be in the mix. Bruce Dickinson, the vocals are just great from Bruce. Like, he's just has like really great vocal melodies and just a lot of like power into his voice. One of the best frontman in heavy metal, period. And then the guitar work from Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, and Yannick Gers are really great. Just the trio, it's just weird. Like, they still need 3 guitar players, but I just think that suits well with the way that they do. Bass-wise, Steve Harris, like, you could definitely hear the bass in the mix. It's just really heard well, and just like his triplets and shit is just fucking amazing. And Nico McBrain does a really great job laying down the beats. So, without further ado, let's just dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the song Different World. Now, I have a little bit of a gripe. It's not like a little gripe, it's just maybe it's just a nitpick. At the very beginning of the song, you hear a little "aye," which I believe it was Nico. I don't know, it just seems weird, but then it just goes right into it with the band just going that da 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 da. Just like that little riff pattern thing is just really catchy. It's a very energetic rocker. It just kicks the album off on a high note. Has some great riffs, and along with like tasty melodic soloing and just some really just upbeat tempo drumming and just a really catchy chorus like "Tell me what you feel, tell me what you get, you see." Excuse my shitty singing, but I think Different World for me is a great opener, great way to kick off this album off with a bang. Then we move on to These Colors Don't Run. Now, this is one of my favorites here, and it starts kind of really slow with a little melodic, like, little guitar intro that and then it just goes right into sort of like an amped up, fist pumping, pure metal anthem, which has some Bruce's really great vocal deliveries, has a really great chorus, and some really great riffing and some awesome drumming throughout as well. And I just love like the whoas, like right before like near the end of the song. It's overall, These Colors Don't Run, sick song. Next up, we have Brighter Than a Thousand Suns, which is amazing and another one of my favorites here. And it's a really great progressive number, which lyrically it talks about like the Manhattan Project. And this song manages to be melodic yet very heavy at the same time, as it has sort of those high-flying, soaring vocal melodies from Bruce, and the amazing guitar work from Adrian, Dave, and Yannick are pretty much another highlight of this song here, and it just pretty much just goes well, and it has some heavy bass lines and just some powerhouse drum work, and then some really great chorus as well. Then we move on to the next song, which is called The Pilgrim. Now this is another amazing track that features some more outstanding guitar work, and it has a really opening melodic riff, and also has some kind of riffs that kind of sound a little Middle Eastern, and plus some of like Steve's best bass work and some energetic pounding drumming from Nico, and Bruce has some really great vocal melodies and very powerful as well. And this song also sounds a little bit Egyptian, mostly in the guitar solo. Longest Day is up next, and this song is yet another epic and powerful mid-paced progressive number. Heard that lyrically, from what I heard, it talks about like the D-Day landings during World War II. And this song is highlighted by some great bass, with a great bass intro from Steve, and plus some of the more guitar riffing and some of their finest soloing on the album. And it also features a pounding mid-paced drumming and some really great melodic singing from Bruce, and a really captivating chorus. It's a really great song, and I really love it. Then moving on, we have Out of the Shadows. Now, Out of the Shadows is a ballad kind of style song, which features some really melodic guitar work throughout, and it's some sort of like weird electroacoustics sections, and there's some really fantastic melodic lead work, and it also features some more melodic vocals from Bruce, and has a very awesome heavy and soaring chorus which just tops things all off. Really great song. And then we get to probably the first single released from this album, which is The Reincarnation of Benjamin Breek, which is another epic and powerful song. And it's just, this begins with a great like 2-minute intro, which features some slow, haunting guitars and bass and some softly sung vocals before transitioning into heavy territory with sort of like some heavy crushing riffs and pounding bass and drums and amazing vocals. And this song is just highlighted by some more excellent harmonies and solos on here. And then we get to the 9-minute plus epic, because Iron Maiden always has epics, and we are with track 8, For the Greater Good of God. And like the majority of the songs here, it starts off really slow with a fantastic, great bass intro from Steve, and then it slowly builds into sort of like an epic metal force. Bruce's vocals on this song are just absolutely incredible and breathtaking through the epic monster of the song. And just the way he just sings at those high notes will just leave you just speechless. And this song features some really great sing-along bridges and choruses that will just get you stuck in your head for days. And the guitar work on this song is really spectacular, and has some really great solos. It doesn't even get better than that, let me tell you. Then we move on to track 9, which is called Lord of Light, which is another spectacular, great song, and it features sort of like slow and dark intro that features soft sung vocals from Bruce, and it transitions into an awesome riff with heavy, aggressive, energetic galloping sections as well, along with sort of like heavy pounding bass and pumping drum beats, and more just flawless solos to go with it as well. And then we finally close things out with The Legacy, and what a great way to end this album, which is another epic 9-minute plus gem, and it's another one of my favorites. Starts off with a slow kind of like acoustic opening, which features some soft sung vocals, and then it just has some very military pace like drum beat kicks in, especially around like the 3-minute 10 mark, and it just joined like some really great riffing, and Bruce's soaring vocals will just join in the fray. And this song is just highlighted by yet more ripping solos, and then some really great harmonies, and then it just ends sort of like how it begins, with that nice closing acoustics as well. And I think it's a great way to end this album. Now overall, A Matter of Life and Death by Iron Maiden is just an epic, just mind-blowing masterpiece, especially in the whole comeback era, going from like Brave New World, Dance of Death, and now A Matter of Life and Death. So I would give this album a score. I'm going to give A Matter of Life and Death by Iron Maiden a solid 9 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of the album. Guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the album, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.